Hello everybody, wee Paddy from across the shock. Now, that was an unusual title, wasn't it? And if you didn't read the title, I'll tell you now. The title is Both Chinese, but what one do I buy? And this is this is a question that I'm going to put more this year than I've ever done. I've never really done it, but this is what I'll put. The Chinese are flooding the markets. They're bringing in the knives every week. I can't afford to keep up with them. So I'm going to be very selective this year. And I'll speak more about it in I spoke last night in my podcast about it. I'm going to be more selective in what I'm buying, i.e. I'm going to buy knives that look maybe similar but in completely different price ranges and not just Chinese. It's going to be open to anything. And if I have three that look the same, I'll do that. Because I feel this is the way I want to go. Yes, I want to continue collecting knives. Yes, I love budget knives, medium knives, high price knives. But I can't afford to chase the amount of knives that are coming into the market. It's just got beyond. In fact, it got to the stage where I was just thinking, what to buy? There's too many, there's too much choice. So I'm going to be selective. And I'm going to buy ones that are challenging to why you would buy either or. And this is a fantastic one to start with because here's the brand new Rustic Gent. I've reviewed it. It's amazing. I love this knife. Here's a Brother 1507. I've reviewed it. I think it's fantastic. They're both under 7 inches long. They both have a cutting length of about 2 3/4, which is an EDC knife for me. This will do everything I need to see. These are lockbacks, so not slip joints. So they're lockbacks. They're, modern traditionals. They both have stunning clip blades on them. I'll hold them up. This one's a bit broader, and I sort of quite like this. And I'll be honest with you, this one is a bit thinner behind the grind than this one. But there's not that much difference in them. I quite like the belly on this one that is further up near the top of it, whereas this is a long sloping one. I quite like the belly up there. It gives it a bit of a shape. They both got a beautiful swedge. What I do like is the Civivi is a beautiful bolster, and I love the way they do their C. But I love a stainless steel bolster and end cap. I think that makes a modern knife look traditional. This is in G10. After the carbon fibre is G10. This is full carbon fibre. And it is not just a cheap carbon fibre. Look at that. It is an amazing carbon fibre. It looks stunning. Both lockbacks are completely proficient. Both knives are ground well. They've come with good edges on them. They're both... Well, the Brother knife is more of a thicker blade on it, but they both come to a good tip that's very similar. There's not that much between it. Now, the Brother knife is made the old-fashioned way, which is constructed so that it's smooth, that all the bits of metal fit together in the knife, and then it's pinned and it's smooth. This is done excellently. Absolutely brilliant. This is the modern construction where it's rounded off, so you don't have to have the precision that you might have to make this knife look good. But that's neither a fault nor a good thing. It's just a different way of doing things. These are modern, so I'm not going to take any marks off for anything like that. They're both near enough exactly to the millimetre the same size. I love the blades on both of them. I can't separate them. I put them down and I look at them and I think, right, which one would you rather have? And to be honest with you, this is a bit thinner behind the edge, so this is a bit thicker, but it's more of you get a bit more heavy work done with it. So there's do's and don'ts for both. So how am I going to separate them? The only way I can separate these two knives is price. Because look, I'm going to show you. There's my little thing where I was doing blade. I was trying to separate them to get a winner. And I genuinely can't get a winner. Because these two knives, for what they are both the same quality, the same standard. This one's got VG10 steel and this one has D2. Now, a lot of people are fed up with D2. This is VG10, that may be yours. People don't like VG10, D2. So there's nothing I can separate them. This one you can take the cover off here and you can change it. Absolutely fine if that's your thing. But I tend to buy a knife and Most of my knives, I'm just going to keep them. I'm buying this because I love the carbon fibre. The fact that it's pinned, I've plenty of traditional knives. I've never needed to take them apart. So, yes, this is this a gimmicky sort of way to make it more modern where you can change the scales? Yeah, it is in a sense. But if I didn't want G10, I would buy the micarta handles. So, I mean, toss a coin. Again, I can't separate from that. They both got long pulls. This one's a bit different than this, but it's a long pull. So it's easy to open up. There's no real strength in them. You don't need to bend your fingernail. They drop whenever you leave go do the look. This is just amazing. Watch. I just find this. Look at that. So they are perfectly balanced. This is the Civivi. It's not quite as drop shotty, but it will. Do you know what I mean? The Civivi is a half stop, whereas the Brother doesn't. But again, that's not enough to separate that. The half stop is something that you either like or you don't like. I personally like it because I can drop it and give it a bit of a shake, and I know it's not going to come back and hit me. So how do I separate it? Like I said, the only thing I can separate these two on is price. Now, these are both Chinese knives. Civivi is the lesser company of we. Brother is a company of its own right. Civivi is the up and coming. Everybody wants to have the Civivi knives because their action is great. Their fit and finish is amazing. Let me tell you, the Brother knives that I have in the modern traditionals, the 3 or 4 that I've had, I think it's 4 I've had, have been outstanding. I'm not so keen on maybe their other folders, there's little faults in them, but these are absolutely stunning in the 15 series. They are just stunning. There's no fault, and there's no fault in this. So for a knife to buy, this is the in company. This is just a Chinese company that's knocking out amazing gear for a very, very reasonable price. This one to buy is about £30, which is what, $35. This one to buy is £68, $75. So it's over, it's over double the price between this and this. Now, to me, that is a no-brainer. When I've sat and I've gone through them and I've looked at them, unless I particularly want the micarta or G10 or a very thin behind the edge, but this is just a small knife that's going to do everyday tasks. To me, that's not enough to spend double the money, because this cuts. I have it sharp, it cuts perfect. This is sharp, cuts perfect. Nothing. I maybe wouldn't tweak this as much in it, but I would quite happily do it with this because it's a good sturdy stock. So there's, 2s and 4s, your choice. But is that knife worth twice the price of this? They're both from China, so we can't have anything. There's no outside influences, and the answer to me is no. If I was going to recommend, and this is why a budget channel or a channel that does budget knives can help people who maybe don't do budget knives. If you trust the person in the channel that you follow, he can maybe lead you to a great decision. Like this Brother knife, all right, you have to order it from AliExpress. It maybe take 2 weeks to a month to come. You can buy this straight away. Are we ever really in that much need? I have 100 odd knives. I'm never in that much of a rush for a knife. I can wait. And I suppose that is the only difference between these two knives, is the weight, but you're paying half the price for that weight. And that's $35 plus difference in price. That is a lot for a knife that I can find no differences between that are worth £35. So, what do you think? Which one would you buy now? Do you really need to rush out and buy the Gent, or would you be happy with the Brother? And this says a lot about us as knife people. And now there's no right or wrong answer to this. If you want to be up to date with everybody else that you're going to put it on your channel to show as you've got the latest way, absolutely fine. And that's what a lot of channels, they want to be up there. I'm not particularly like that. Now, again, that's not right or wrong. It's just me. If I had the choice to go out today and buy these two knives, I would buy this one every time. Every time. Simply because there isn't enough to choose between them. And I'm not going to pay double the price for something I'm going to buy at half the price. And that's my breakdown of these two knives. Now, if you think there's another reason why I should buy the Civivi over a Brother knife, let me know. Because until you've tried this, and before you maybe buy something at that price, try this and then tell me this is not a good knife. You know, is the quality going to be as... I don't really know. The people that I know have bought these have been pretty happy with them. I haven't seen any great disasters or anything. So you're maybe not taking as big a chance as you think you are by getting a Brother knife. But it is completely entirely up to you. I've got both. I'm very lucky and I'm very happy to have both. Really happy to have both. So let me give you some comparisons. There's a GEC, the American Jack, just as a size comparison. They're very comparable in size. And this is another knife that can do me as a full EDC knife. But it's much dearer than both of these. The steel isn't as what we call good. This is $10.95, which is a great steel anyway. I love this. This is a well-used knife. Can do anything. Can do anything. Here's a more modern one. Now, here is a Para 3. I'm putting it down. Size-wise, it's about... Let me just see. Size-wise, it's about 1/4 of an inch longer. It looks more, but that's... I'm looking straight down behind it here. But 1/4 of an inch longer than these two. The cutting edge is more on these. So as standalone knives for EDC, the cutting edge is bigger in these. The grip is, I can get a full 4-finger grip on these as in these. Do I get closer up to the blade? I don't think I can. I think that's as close as you'll get in the Para 3. So if you're somebody who carries a Para 3, this is quite capable of doing anything you need that the Para 3 can do. Blade steel a bit better. Mine's M390. Yes, it is, but... in reality, do I need M390 for my everyday use? Which is another question that we have to throw in. Now, here's another one. Here's the big beastie. There's the PM2, and it is about an inch bigger in length, but exactly the same length in their blades. Near enough exactly the same blade length as these two. So again, I'm not going to be worried about what I'm doing. Yes, it's a bigger knife. Yes, it'll do harder tasks better. No problem. Oh, by the way, look at that. What do you think of that? I think that is class. I jazzed up my PM2. I'd put these on a year ago probably. Green aluminium. But I seen this on AliExpress for $5. And I thought, wow. I mean, look. Listen to that. It's good enough edge retention for me to shove in my pocket, but doesn't that just lift that knife? Love it. £5. You don't have to spend big money on these MSG and all. They're beautiful clips, there's no doubt. Better made than this probably, but for $5, that'll do me my day. I love it. Absolutely love it. What have I got on this one? Oh yeah, this is one I got for even cheaper. I think this was £2 something on AliExpress. It's good enough. Will it bend? It could do, but for £2 I'm not worried. So, by gosh, I don't have to go off on one sometimes. Anyway, to get back to it, which one of these knives do I recommend? Look, I recommend them both. They're both great knives. But what I'm saying, if you're on a budget, or if you're just building up a knife collection that you want knives for your channel to show on your channel, this is as good as any at that price. You know, this is an absolutely cracking knife. There's no doubt about it. A bit more modern looking than maybe this, but they'll both do exactly the same job. And this is twice as dear as this one. It's not twice as good, sorry. It's just not. So, there we go. It'll be interesting to see why you would pick either one of. And let me know. Because that's the conversation. That's the conversation you want, is why would you pick either one? Let me know the difference. And is this the sort of video you fancy me doing? Picking two knives that are not necessarily Chinese versus, it could be USA versus Chinese or whatever versus Sheffield steel. But if that's the sort of video you want, there's little comparisons like that. And what I will do is I will do my cut test. Now, you know what my cut test is like. It's about 100 cuts through cardboard, a cut on wood, and I bash the blade on the wood to see if it rolls. I'll do that, and every knife that I'll put in the channels, I'll have done that challenge. So the knife that I pick will be one that can do a full day's work, EDC, for most people. 100 cuts in cardboard most people will not do in a day. They'll probably never cut wood during the day, and they'll not backstay their knives on the wood. So there you go. Let me know what you think. These two are beautiful knives. If you've got either or, you'll not be disappointed. They're both lovely knives. It's just the price and why you would want to pick one over the other. Take care. I'm away for a wee cup of tea. All the best. Paddy's gone. Bye now.